It's like a game.
Okay.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Warp Zone. My name is Erik van Wees.
My name is Molly Hetty Carroll.
And today's subject is going to be about very hot topic at the moment, women in games.
Women in games, both how they're depicted in the games and how female developers are treated, is a big discussion about this going on at the moment. It's a very hot topic. A recent one was during E3, Ubisoft got in trouble because they promised a female playable character in their multiplayer for the latest Assassin's Creed, and they said we were going to do it, but we ran out of time. It was too like very flimsy excuses that even the people working there said it's not true. And the biggest one that probably kicked this all off was Anita Sarkeesian, who created a show called Women vs. Tropes in Video Games, which even before it was made, pissed a lot of people off.
It kind of confirmed that there was an issue going on.
It confirmed there was an issue, yeah. She wanted to make a show just pointing out and questioning tropes like the damsel in distress, women as a background character, and even before it was made, people were making games about beating her up, people posting her address online so people could go harass her.
It made it worse.
Shocking.
And it made people to support her even more because, it really divided people, like they really divided the gamers.
Right.
It's this thing that has happened, that why people sided, like not with Anita, but against women, because in the games industry, gamers claim it to be like this boy club kind of idea, like it's boys only, and
not just gamers, developers as well. I think a lot of these people, they're not misogynistic, they're not sexist, they don't hate women. I think it's just that they've just never really thought about it. Another thing that happens is some people are they don't care about this problem because they don't feel like it affects them. And they're just kind of sick of it. I had that once where I uploaded a video about bullying of women online. And somebody posted all this stuff. Yeah, what about boys with high voices? And what about people where you can hear that they're not white? And I said, yeah, that's a problem too.
Yeah.
This video just happens to be about women. But after a lot of people talked to him about this, he admitted it's because he's sick of hearing about women. So I think a lot of people lash out because they don't want to hear this anymore.
Yeah, maybe some people haven't considered it a problem in the first place. While if you look back at throughout history, women's rights and women's place, in society has always been quite difficult. It's quite subtle here and there, whilst some people haven't really come in touch with it, that they haven't thought of it, like what when it comes to rights or treatment.
Yeah.
And then people are a bit like, what's the issue here? And I'm hearing it here and there, and I can see that you can get sick of it, but it's not just about in the games industry. It's
everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's not only about games.
This is a big problem.
We need to. We're still working to get women's, the acceptance of women's rights and how we treat women. It just needs to reach a point where it's all accepted and there's no misogynistic behavior anymore and subliminal bullshit, and where women are also getting paid less. So on the developer side, that's also an issue. So
really nobody should be fighting about this. I think a thing that people need to realize is that gender roles hurt everyone. I mean, feminism is about the equality of everybody, because the gender roles of men really hurts men and women as well. Like, men, they have to be tough. They're not allowed to cry.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than being a girl, if you're a kid, is being gay. And that really affects men, that's not fair. These roles that men should be like this and women should be like this, it's a problem for everyone. In games, I think a lot of the backlash and arguments that happen are kind of because of indifference. Some people, when I say people, I mean people, not just women, not just men, both, have maybe not really thought about it a lot. And if you ask the average person about something that they don't have an opinion about,
Yeah.
a lot of them will not admit that they haven't thought about it.
Oh, is this a thing that's going on?
And because it's a very polarized argument going on at the moment, some people will just decide that they want to side with something, even though they haven't really thought about it.
Or they don't really mean it, which is, makes it a bit difficult and unnecessary, which is a shame.
I think people saying, "Oh, bitch, show us your tits over live chat," I don't think they necessarily are misogynistic or sexist.
And they wouldn't say it in real life,
They just don't think, I mean,
and because of the internet anonymity, you can just be very horrible if you want.
There's many things, but people not thinking isn't the problem here. I mean, with games, the developers are the ones that need to make a difference here. We have to stop things like publishers not allowing important female characters to be on the covers of their games. BioShock Infinite is a good example. Elizabeth, the female character in BioShock, is a really important character in the game. She's almost more important than the protagonist. And what did they do? They had the dude with the gun on the cover and put her on the back. There has to be, and then there was things with Remember Me. They didn't want the female character to kiss her boyfriend because the male players might think it's gay. Or The Last of Us, where they couldn't have, there's a little girl in it who's a very important character, and they had to fight to have her on the cover. And this men's club idea that publishers and developers have needs to stop. I've had people come up to me and say, like, when I talk about female portrayal in games and the treatment of women as developers, well, most people are men, so if we want to have booth babes, we're just servicing the majority. And I find that bizarre because 51% of people are women, so by their logic, everything should be catered to women. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Don't exclude, include.
Exactly.
No need to fight.
This isn't about limiting games; it's about expanding it.
Exactly.
Things like Dead or Alive beach volleyball, they can exist,
and they will,
and
people are afraid that that's going to disappear. No, it's not.
I think a good conclusion to draw from this whole discussion is, regardless of what you think about this discussion, whether you think it's a load of bullshit and that everything's fine, or that it's really horrible and we have to do a lot about it, the truth is that this being in the zeitgeist of games is definitely making a difference.
Yes.
For sure. The biggest one, this really affected me, was at the Game Developer Choice Awards this year. Anita Sarkeesian won the Ambassador Award for her contribution to changing the games industry. And
she was the most influential person throughout the year in the games industry. That was the award about
a positive influence. And the person who gave the award was the person who wrote The Last of Us, which is like critically acclaimed. It has tens up the asshole, and it's about this relationship between this man and this teenage girl, which sounds a bit fucked up when I say it like that.
No, but it's his daughter.
Spoilers alert. But the thing is that when he gave the award, he said that the reason why he wrote the story the way he did is because her videos made him think. And I'm sure he's not the only one.
Which is very interesting to see, because you have the developers and the journalists, and when they reinforce each other, then
Yeah, and I mean, these people who don't necessarily have an opinion about women, I'm sure a lot of them, because if they are going to base their opinion on just kind of what's popular, I'm sure a lot of them thought that The Last of Us was a fantastic game. But I really hope that him saying that made people realize that thinking about how you're portraying women in games isn't going to get rid of the games that you enjoy. It's going to make games... It's going to treat games with more respect and treat them more as an art form rather than, hey, it's for teenage boys, let's put some jiggly tits and charge them 60 euros, It's like, it's insulting to your intelligence,
some people like that.
Of course they do. I'm not saying that liking that
you
is bad. But if this is, I don't want to misrepresent myself if it comes across like I'm saying there's no place for games with jiggly tits. Of course, people can play whatever the hell they want. But if that's the only thing that's being created, I mean, when I say it's insulting to your intelligence, I don't mean because you like that stuff. I kind of like that stuff. It's funny.
But if that's the only thing, then it's kind of like...
Let me finish my point. They're making it out as if you can't appreciate or enjoy
Yeah.
anything better. Now, not everything you watch and take in has to be artistically profound. Sometimes you just want something that's funny or sexy or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. I completely think that. But if that's all there is, it's like they're saying you can't handle anything better.
Yeah, because the numbers show, oh, this is more popular, right? So, you know, people don't like it.
That's my point.
Exactly.
I'm not
People
saying
don't like
there's
the
no
profound things because the numbers show that it doesn't sell. Well, you know, you're not catering to it, you know.
The point is, there needs to be more variety is better for everyone. Day of the Tentacle is a point-and-click PC adventure from LucasArts, the masters of the genre. A follow-up of sorts to an earlier LucasArts title, Maniac Mansion, it follows 3 protagonists, Bernard, Hoagie, and Laverne, as they travel
Back to the mansion!
to stop a purple tentacle who drank toxic waste and grew arms from taking over the world. Yeah, sounds pretty stupid when you explain it to someone. But if you're familiar with the work of its co-designer, Tim Schafer, you know you're in good hands. The 3 protagonists are separated and sent to 3 different time periods, with Bernard in the present, Hoagie 200 years in the past, and Laverne 200 years in the future. The player can switch between characters and must alter events in time in order to solve puzzles and save the world. Its cartoon art style and hilarious writing makes this game incredibly engaging, incredibly funny, and incredibly expensive. Yeah, LucasArts has a pretty dedicated fan base, and the company being shut down recently hasn't helped make its adventure games any cheaper online. I would recommend this game to everyone, but a complete copy goes for roughly €100 online average. It's pretty off-putting. In fact, Tim Schafer himself has encouraged people to just pirate his old games because they're too rare and expensive, so Warpzone gives Day of the Tentacle a download. Tim Schafer approved.
Bernard, float over here so I can punch you.